again from CWD, just back at Church Lawton Pond. I'll show you where we're up to. So Nexus is on its stand. Customer's been faffing. He's put a little, he's covered it up with this bit of ply and a bit of liner on the top, make it all nice and pretty. So that looks good. Sometimes customers get involved and faff and mess things up, but he's done something good. He always asks before he does stuff, so I don't mind that. Some customers just start painting the pond or do whatever they want to, and sometimes it can get in the way and cause issues. So it's good that he asks. So right, just drilled through to the outside. As you can see, this is where the waste's going to be going. Now, one thing that I didn't do before I did that is check the height of the waste on here. But eyeing it up, it looks to be pretty much exactly where I want it, because the waste hole's over there and this is the waste there. So obviously you don't want the waste going down and up. We want it to be a nice straight run, so we're going to put some clamps on there and just have the waste running all the way down. The Nexus Nexus waste pipe kit hasn't come yet, but this is going to come out here. It's going to tee off that way, and then we're going to have an elbow going that way. We're going to put some 3x2 on here, just the waste steps out, and then it's not getting in the way of this pipe here. It's a shame that we couldn't mount the UV on here really, but it just don't want it being too tight and inaccessible. If we need to change the UV bulb or anything, that'd be a nightmare to get off. So, and plus the electrics are on this side, we want cables going here, there and everywhere, looking all messy, because otherwise the customer will be having a go at me. So, underlay we've not put in yet, so that's going to be the job after we've connected this waste pipe going across here. I'll just show you. So there's the hole, and then the little circle indent there, that's where it's going in. We've got a stick or anything. Yeah, got a little bit of pipe here. So there, that's where it's going to be going in. So we're just going to come out there, elbow it down into the this 200 litre drum the customer's got, and then he's got a pump in there. He's going to pump it out, but it's all beds in that, so he's recycling. He's got buckets all over his garden, he don't waste any rainwater. So that's being sustainable, which is good. So yeah, gonna first job, get the pipe running up to where we're not ready because we've not got this waste pipe kit to plumb in yet. So we're just gonna have the pipe running across and finishing there, ready to just elbow off and into here. We don't want it sticking out too far. We're gonna do it so it's on the other side of this handle. This handle goes down, so something coming here isn't really going to be in the way. It's going to be able to get that open and closed easy enough. Once I've done that, I'm going to get the pump. So we have the pipe running down there. It just about fits around the back. You can just see this elbowing off here. Just about fits around the back, and then that'll go straight up into there. So that's the 1.5 inch pressure pipe from there up there. And then obviously we'll plumb into the pump here, and this pump will go straight up into there. That's the easiest way of doing that, the most concealed way. And then it's easy to access the pump if anyone ever needs to maintain it or do anything. It's going after a filter, so the maintenance of a pump that's after filtered water isn't really going to be anything. Shouldn't be anything at all really. So yeah, nice and easy. This hasn't been plumbed in properly yet because I want to get this waste pipe done, make sure that's not going to be an issue. We're using actual waste pipes for this sort of stuff, the 40mm stuff that you get from like Screwfix and all that, and that's got a bit of flex on it. So we're going to have it on 3x2 stuck out here, and then the pipe clips, they're going to be on the 3x2, so it's going to be out here. Then it's going to allow it to miss this pipe, and then we'll go in there. There's a bit of flexibility, more flexibility than pressure pipe in this, so it will be able to bend back ever so slightly just to make it straight through that hole. So I'll come back and show you once I've done that. Right, so I've got to the point now where I'm putting in the overflow and the skimmer. Now you can get it included from the manufacturer, but it costs like £50. And it's not a £50 job, it's like a £5 job if you've got the right bits. So here's what I've done. So this is just a Cockney Coy 1.5" or 40mm, because it fits the 40mm waste pipe. Tank connector. So all I do is get a good bit of the window sealant around here, pop it in the hole that I've made. So I've made a, where's the drill gone? There you are. So just use the standard hole saw. What size is it? No, that'll be the next question people ask me. So it is the 51mm. Yeah, so 51mm hole. And by doing a 51mm hole, then you can plot this in there. And there's a bit that threads on there as well, but I've not got that with me because it's probably in my spares box somewhere. But for the purposes of this, no, you don't even really need it, if I'm being honest, because the sealant will hold it. And then at the same time, I drilled through this, because then you know that you've got the holes lined up perfectly. That just sits on top of there. Then all you do is get a bit of this waste pipe, glue that in there, and then wherever you want your water level to finish, that's how tall you have the pipe. You can get a little union fitting or something like that if you want, but we just set the maximum water level as. Once you fill the pond up, then you can see, because there might be, that corner might be, you know, that corner over there might be like a couple of mil higher or what have you. So whatever you want that absolute maximum your pond to be, set this pipe at. And then the overflow is going to run down here, across there, and it's going to tee into the waste pipe. And this is going to have a bit of 1.5" pipe going down, teeing into there as well. So it's got to be pretty tidy. It's going to be accessible. We're going to be able to. I'm thinking of actually mounting this pump up here. I think it's more sensible, because then we can just have this one elbow going across here, and then the pump can just take it and send it straight up into the Tempest filter. So I might screw a bit of timber here and have the pump sat on that instead of going on all the way in the ground. And again, that'll just make maintenance that little bit easier. Yeah, and you can get it where the pumps vibrate if they're on the floor and things as well. Hopefully this whole shed doesn't have the noise, but they're only 10k pumps, so they're not like the 30,000s that you really get you can get like a big whirling sound with them on. So I'm gonna dry plumb, teeing in that and all this and the overflow and all that sort of stuff, and then I'm gonna tee in the inch pipe. So the Tempest, where's the inch pipe for the Tempest gone? Here it is. So this is the better quality stuff. At the moment it's nice and flexible, but it doesn't stay like that. Once water's been running through it, it seems to change it, and then it goes pretty stiff after a while, but we're only going to need about this much. And part of me is thinking, shall I just have a bit of this on the overflow, because you don't need a load of hard pipe, so I might even just have it elbowed off here, and then this 1 inch, couple of pipe clamps over there, and that could tee in there into a steps hose tail. That might look a bit neater. So I'll have a mess about with both and decide what I want to do, and then I'll check back in here. Okay, so just added the tee. Nice and easy. Obviously make sure that the sweeping bit is facing the way that you want the stuff to go. And that's a bit of inch pipe on the end of the Tempest into a steps hose tail. It's not glued on yet, but yeah, we'll put a bit there. The sealant that we use on the pond windows around here, and then we'll push the pipe on. Saves us using clamps. It's actually stronger than clamps as well. So yeah, and it water, makes it watertight. It holds it in place really firmly, and you can smear a nice bead of it around the outside, and you're not going to have any issues with leaks or anything. So now all I've got to do is add the tee right at the end. It's getting a bit tight down there now, but I reckon I'll be able to get a tee in there easy enough, and then yeah, I'll come back, see how I got on with that. So just show you, this is the little Cockney Coy tank connector thing. All I've done is put a bit of sealant around there, and then I'll shove it down. In the hole, give it a good press and a little twist, and that will, by tomorrow, being quite cold, that will all gone off nicely. So I'm best off doing that now before I actually glue everything together. You can, if you really want to, put a bead on the outside, but yeah, looks pretty good. Save myself 50 quid, using about 2 quid's worth of parts. So yeah, and then from here, pipe will fit inside there, the 40mm pipe, so that'll just elbow that way, and then I reckon it's going to be the 1-inch pipe going, because if you see that looks a lot less intrusive than a 40mm pipe does, because if we've got a 40mm pipe running down there and down there, this will probably outlast it as well. The wall on this is actually thick, a lot thicker than a 40mm pipe, a lot more robust. It's hard to, you squeeze this, you can feel it flexing. Whereas the whereas this, you can pretty much bury this concrete around it and stuff. So yeah, if you do want to do this, you need the 40mm pipe, like solvent waste pipe, stuff you can get from Screwfix, that easy to get hold of. It's what plumbers use. And then that goes straight in there, in the 1.5" or 40mm coiled tank connector, elbow that way, and yeah, I'll have 1-inch pipe going that way. It'll look much neater. It'll be less flow restrictive as well, because it'll just be a sweeping big length, and we'll put a pipe clip over there, probably just so it can clip on there and swing down into that, and then we can, when we're gluing that in, we can glue it at the angle it needs to be, rather than going up, elbow, elbow, elbow. There'll just be one elbow, it'll be here. Hello again. Right, so we are at the stage where it's all dry plumbed in. I've just got to plumb this little bit, go down from here, so we've got the Nexus outlet there, so 1.5" down, behind the ball valve, using that elbow to go in here, and then it goes straight up into the UV, and then it'll go out the UV into here. So this is all still not properly glued in, it's just dry fitted, because like I said, it can become, you've got pipes crossing over and all sorts, so it's best figuring out what you're doing before you just crack on and do it. It's a lot easier to fix when it's not glued together. So the waste on the outside. Hello. So another day spent at Church Lawton Pond. I've managed to plumb the filters together. So the Nexus, as you can see, it's a bit taller now. So we've got, just to run you through, because we get asked a lot, I know there's instructions and stuff, but they don't show you an actual physical installed Nexus. So this is the outlet. So when it first comes, this has a 4-inch, that actually has that rubber there on this side because it's set up for pump fed. So this is where the water comes out of the Nexus. The bottom drain is where the water goes in. So that goes in on the right hand side as it's facing away at the moment. The water comes out of the bit where it says what it is. So that's the easiest way, the big D-shaped bit here, that's where the water comes out. So the water's going to come down here on an 1.5-inch pipe, down this elbow, into the pump, go into the UV, then it's going to come down here, up there and into the pond. So that's as simple as it needs to be for a bottom drain setup. You don't need a pipe over the side, as you can see, absolutely no pipes over the side whatsoever. Then we've got Tempest. So the Tempest, the pump for that is on the floor. I was going to raise that and mount it on the wall, but this is most of it's hollow, so it's going to be a bit of a pain getting something up there. And so I don't know if you can tell, but the pump's suspended about 1 centimetre up or something. It doesn't weigh too much. Once it's filled with water, it's not going to make much difference whatsoever. So this skimmer is going to be feeding. So out of this here, the water's going to be travelling down to the pump, and it's going to be pumping directly up into the bottom of the Tempest. And it's going to come out the top, go down that long bit of pipe, and back in through this return here. So that's the Tempest, nice and easy. So you can see it's plumbed into this waste pipe. So this waste pipe will be connected once I get my Nexus waste pipe kit. That's going to tee in over here, just enough room so we can get to the ball valve. That's going to come around this way, so we're going to have to reach underneath to pull it, but that's the longest part of the handle, so that's the easiest bit. So the waste pipe's coming all the way down here. We're teeing in once for the Tempest, so the Tempest just going to, all you need to do is clean it, is that. Well, there's a bit more actually. You shut these slide valves off, shut them 2 slide valves off, then you open the bottom, and then you lay this, start gurgling, you see stuff bubbling up. First couple of cleans, this all might just be one solid mass. You might have left it a couple of weeks or whatever, or you might have had particularly dirty water, and this can just be like one big thing that looks like it's going up and down, or it can look like it's not cleaning properly because you've got algae growing on it, and you'll see a load of, it'll look like this but a bit green, but the stuff inside, it's just an imprint left by the algae, so don't get too worried if that happens. The only problem that we're going to have here is we can't see when it's running clean, but if the customer cleans it twice a week, I can't see that being a problem. I mean, it's mostly indoors, well, it's half indoors actually. And it's got a skimmer, so it's got a strainer basket, so it's not going to be taking big solids. It's only going to be taking things less than, what is it, about 6 mil. So it's going to be taking particles for about 5 mil and under. It's not going to be taking any big bits. So if he cleans that twice, as he's cleaning his Nexus every week, then that should be all the cleaning he needs to do. He's not after cleaning it every single day, because there's not really a need to. So that's as simple as it all is. And then there's an overflow in here. It's glued in, we're just waiting for that to go off, and then I'll set the standpipe. But the overflow's going out this 1-inch pipe, and once this has gone off, that'll be strong enough for me to manoeuvre, because this pipe, if anyone's used it before, it's absolute nightmare. It just doesn't bend how you want it to, it just does its own bloody thing, and it kept on throwing this out. So we wanted that to be like 90 degrees, so as it's going off I've just cable tied it to the pipe below it. So once that's gone off, I'll be able to put that and stick it on that step toes tail there, and the overflow is just going straight to waste constantly. The customer's going to have a 3-stage HMA filter on the outside, so you can just from the outside stick his hose pipe on it, and then he can fill it up nice and easy. So we've gone for everything as easy as possible, but without sacrificing anything. So Tempest, dead easy to clean, takes solids out of the water really well. This is really good biological. Bottom drain makes it look good, makes this perform better. Everything's just really good on this pond. Everything's kept simple, no point in complicating things, except for having 3 windows. It's quite a simple pond really. Alright, so I've not put the underlay on yet, simply because you see those holes there, there's just little gaps there that need to fill with expanding foam. If I put underlay in, there's a chance I'll forget. I don't want to have the customer doing a leak test, filling it up, and then let me know that inside is full of water. So I'll check in next time I'm here, probably be next week now, and yeah, we'll get the underlay in. We'll actually glue all this together. It's not glued together yet, it's freezing cold. It's like bloody, feels like about 3 degrees, I think it's about 6 though. And yeah, and then the windows are coming on Thursday next week, so I'll have a video by Thursday or by Friday evening, because me and Ash are going to fit the windows on Friday. If for any reason we can't do them on Friday, Jim, whose pond it is, he said that his son can give us a hand on Saturday, because he just wants to get it done. Yeah, he's getting a bit impatient now, so sorry about that, Jim. But yeah, any questions or anything, let us know. But it's looking good. Can't wait to get the glass in now. And within the next, well, if it's on Friday, you can fill up on Sunday. If it's really cold, we can fill up on Monday. And then we can leak test, and then he's got some hardwood coping to go on the top. So he doesn't want us to do the softwood coping we normally do. He's got some hardwood stuff down there. He's going to use that, it looks like veneer. But yeah, he's got some of that really good price. So he's going to finish that off, have it all mited and everything. It's going to look really smart. So yeah, see you next time.